Hi, welcome back. In this lecture, we'll see the mutability of Python objects. Python objects are of two types, mutable objects and immutable objects. With mutable objects, we can change the values, whereas with the immutable objects, we cannot change the values. In Python, lists and dictionaries are mutable objects. Numbers, strings, tuples, and sets are all immutable objects. Let us see some code examples. Let us create a list. Let us say L is a list of items. So 1, 2, and let us say 10.5. And also let us add a string. So this is a list of with 4 items. If you see the ID of a list, you get some numerical number. And suppose let us add one more item to this one. We can say there's a method on a list called append. Append, let us say 100. And if you see the list now, the item is added. So there's no problem in adding an item to a list. And if you see, and also we can change the items. Else of 1 equal to 200. Right? What is the list now? So the 2 we have changed the 2 as 200. And also we added one more item. If you see the ID of this one, ID of L now, there is no change. See this one? There is no change with the ID. It was exactly as it was before. That is why we say a list is a mutable object. We can change the values. We can add values, add items. That is the reason we say list is a mutable object. Similarly, dictionaries are also mutable objects. Let us see one example of immutable objects. A tuple is an immutable object. Let us see an example with a tuple. Let us say 3 items or 4 items. We have a small tuple with 4 items. You see, if you see the ID of a tuple, ID is that is the idea of a tuple. Suppose if you want to add one more item to this tuple, let us say use append of 5. There is no append method for this for tuple. It says object has no attribute append. Similarly, if you want to change by using the index, if you say let us say 1 equal to, let us say make it 100, we cannot change because object does not support item assignment. That is the reason the tuples are called immutable objects. We cannot change the tuple. So move on to numbers and strings. The numbers and strings, they are immutable, but they appear as if they are mutable. Let us see an example. Let us say n equal to 100, right? And if we say ID of n is some numerical number, and if I can say n equal to, let us say 200, there's no problem, we can do that. But the thing is, if you see the ID of n, it is totally different. Here it is ending 664, is 864. It's a totally different ID. Means behind the scenes, Python interpreter is creating a new object with the same name. It's creating a new object and assigning the new value. So outside it appears as if that is a mutable object, means we could change the value, but actually in reality it is not. It is a immutable object. Same thing with strings. If you want to see an example with strings, so let us say yes equal to, let us say, John, right? And if you see the ID of yes, and if you suppose if we change John to, let us say, Chris, and if you see the ID of yes, it will be totally different. Here it is a 088. See, it's a totally different ID. Python interpreter is just uh, it just behind the scenes is just creating a new object by destroying the old object. It's creating a new object, and outside it looks as if the numbers and strings are mutable objects, but in reality they are not. Okay, that is about mutability of objects. Let us recap. Objects are of two types, mutable and immutable. Mutables means we can modify the values, whereas in immutable objects we cannot. In Python, only lists and dictionaries are mutable objects. Tuples, sets, numbers, strings, and all these are immutable objects. We'll stop here, and our next topic is arithmetic operators. Okay, thanks.